In this video, we're going to do an introduction to exponential functions. Now, let's consider the functions g of x equals x squared and f of x equals 2 to the x power. Now, how are these different? Okay, how is x squared different from 2 to the x? Okay, well, we know what the graph of x squared looks like. Okay, it says the table and graph for g of x equals x squared is shown below, right? It's just a parabola. Okay, I've drawn the table of values right here. Now let's fill in the table for f of x, okay, for 2 to the x power, and then let's graph it in the same graph here. Okay, so the question is, what is 2 to the negative third power? Okay, in other words, what's f of negative 3? Well, it would be 2 to the negative third power. But what is 2 to the negative third power? How do we deal with a negative exponent? Well, 2 to the negative third is the same thing as 1 over 2 to the positive third. So in other words, it's 1/8. So 2 to the negative third power is 1/8. Okay, 2 to the negative second power would be 1/4. 2 to the negative 1 power would be 1/2. Now what's 2 to the 0 power? In other words, what is f of 0? Okay, if we look up here at f of x is 2 to the x. So what's f of 0? It would be 2 to the 0 power. But anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay, so this is 1. Okay, 2 to the 1 power would be 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 to the third power, 2 cubed is 8. 2 to the fourth power is 16. And 2 to the fifth power is 32, right? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That ends up being 32. Okay, so let's graph this. Now notice the point 0, 1 will be on the graph. So that's down here somewhere, 0, 1. 1, 2 is about right here. 2, 4 is right here. 3, 8 is right here. 4, 16 is here, and 5, 32 is up here. I can't really draw it. Negative 1, 1/2 is down here. It's only at a height of 1/2. It's very close to the x-axis. Negative 2, 1/4 is even closer, and negative 3, 1/8 is very close to the x-axis there. It turns out the graph has this basic shape. Okay, this is called an exponential function. Okay, it starts out on the left side very, very close to the x-axis. Okay, in fact, the further and further you go to the left, the closer and closer it gets to the x-axis. And then it goes up. This point is 0, 1. And as you move further and further to the right, it gets steeper and steeper and steeper. Okay, so 2 to the x looks like this. Okay, 2 to the x is what's called an exponential function. Okay, it's not a polynomial. Okay, x squared is a polynomial. 2 to the x is an exponential function. Okay, in fact, here's the definition. An exponential function is a function that can be written in this form. So basically, some constant k times a to some function of x. Okay, where a is a positive constant called the base, k is a constant, and h of x is a function. Okay, which of the following are exponential functions? And part A is 5 to the x. Is that an exponential function? Yeah, because k would be 1, a would be 5, and h of x would just be x. Okay, right? So k would be 1, a would be 5, and h of x would just be the function x. Okay, what about x to the fifth? Is that of this form? No, because a cannot have any x's in it. A has to be a constant. So the base here has to be a constant. So this is no. So by the way, the answer here was yes. Okay, let me just put it over here. No. The third one, 7 times 3 to the x. Yeah, notice the k is 7. Okay, the k is 7. The a is 3. And again, our h of x is just x. Okay, so yes, that one is an exponential function. Okay, a few more here. X plus 7 squared, no. Okay, again, the base has to be a constant here. That's not a constant, so that is not an exponential function. Okay, 2 to the 0.75x. Yes, that is an exponential function because our k would be 1. Notice the constant out front. There's no constant here, so it's assumed to be 1. The a would be 2, and the h of x would be 0.75x. Okay, it's just a function of x. Okay, and finally, this last one is also an exponential function. The k in this case is 1, right? There's no coefficient there that we can see, so it's just 1. The a would be 10, that's the base, and the h of x is x squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay, now the book doesn't really use this definition, but it just kind of gives you the basic idea of what an exponential function is, but essentially this is what it is. Okay, it has to have this form to be an exponential function.